Coastal areas face unprecedented climate vulnerabilities that will cause over $200 billion in damage. The worst? Cities don't even have adequate tools to monitor those developments. We are solving this problem by distributing the leading GIS suite tailored to the needs of coastal municipalities. This is a large untapped market, and we are looking to raise 400,000 euros. This will allow us to scale and get ready to expand nationwide by Q1 2023. Thank you, and together we can make coastal cities more resilient. And with that, welcome to our presentation of Group RTB, which is using geospatial technology for smart sustainability of coastal cities. Our team consists of 4 team members, so myself, then Ines, Estelle, and Benedicta. And we will run you through all the 5 phases of the VCW today. So from phase 1, discovering value, all the way to phase 5, consolidating the value. But let's start with phase 1. Looking at our challenge. So what we want to do in this project is to identify the best geographical market where our service of smart sustainability for coastal cities can be used to help coastal cities be more sustainable. And with that, our mission is also to increase the accessibility of geospatial technology and help cities to manage and improve their sustainability. And we want to become the leading distributor of GIS technology that will enable coastal cities to become more climate resilient and empower local stakeholders to conserve natural resources, and on top, prevent flood and erosion-related harm to their natural ecosystems. But before we start, let's have a look again at what GIS technology actually is. It is basically the use of geographical related data that could come from satellites or drones or maps, and use that to make decisions. So all those data are usually synced and being put together in a map that can be then used to do various things. And in our case, this geospatial data is used for coastal cities. And with the rise of satellites, we see that GIS technology is becoming more and more relevant, and does offer great potential for flood hazard prevention, for responding to natural disasters, and more generally mapping, managing coastlines, monitoring erosion, mapping the biological diversity and the habitats of animals in the wildlife. With our proposal, we are aligned with the SDGs, in particular SDG number 11, so sustainable cities and communities, because we want to connect cities and make them more sustainable. Number 13, so SDG number 13 is climate action. As I said, we want to strengthen the resilience and make cities more adaptable to climate-related hazards. And lastly, SDG number 14, which is life below water, which obviously makes sense since our service is helping to monitor maritime environments. On top of that, we're also aligning our proposal with the European Green Deal, in particular to the priorities of the European Green Deal, which involve protecting the diversity of ecosystems, reducing pollution, moving towards a more circular economy, and ensuring the sustainability of our blue economy, thus the oceans, as well as the Paris Agreement. There in particular, we want to highlight the part of the Paris Agreement which specifies the technological transformation and monitoring of coastal cities, with the goal of fostering climate resilience of cities. Now let's move to the analysis of our service. So I think we believe there is a strong need for this in the market, and we believe that it's the right time, and there's a lot of willingness to cooperate on that. On the other hand, such a GIS system really requires long-term investment, and there's still a lack of awareness about the potential of the systems, as well as fact which is hindering this, that it's a very complex system that requires training and skilled labor to actually use that. But we believe there's a lot of opportunities in the market coming with, we believe, a rising awareness about this project, you know, the environmental urgency, and also the user friendliness of the systems that are coming into place now. At the same time, there are obviously some threats to our endeavor, which is, you know, the new competitors that are coming up. As I said, it's a very up and coming industry, so there's a lot of development happening. At the same time, we have to make sure that we serve all the users at the same time, and that we actually show them the value that the software creates, because otherwise there might be a big threat they don't buy our services. Now, looking at the TAO's analysis, we can see that we can minimize our weaknesses by focusing on the opportunities. That is, by highlighting the tremendous opportunities and the impact that our technology can have. We can also maximize our strengths through the external opportunities. That is, really focusing on the alignment between the SDGs, international regulations, and our offering. We can also use our strengths to minimize the threats by keep on improving our technology, focusing on R&D, and really a strong customer focus. Similarly, we want to minimize our weaknesses by really having strong relationships with the government and with our customers, and increasing the awareness of how our proposal can help to reduce the threats that these cities are facing. And with that, we can basically say that there should be a strong interest from governments, private companies, researchers, international organizations, and so on for our service that are related to coastal lines, because it offers a lot of advantages for many different stakeholders. We have been in touch with several of those stakeholders, and we believe that particularly the employees of those companies using GIS services, so that could be data analysts and data managers, are very important, as well as the governments, because we believe that's our biggest potential target market, and obviously the companies of which we're distributing the software. So that in our case is probably a very important aspect. And yeah, we did try to involve the stakeholders from the very beginning. We contacted several organizations like ESRI, Ecological Australia, Spectrum, GeoImage, also the Department of Planning, Industry and Development in New South Wales, which is responsible for GIS. We contacted ArcGIS, IC, as well as the Planning Commission of New South Wales, which is responsible for coastal line management, and obviously Hexagon, which is the company which is producing the software that we're distributing. And within Hexagon, we've been trying to get in touch with many different people, but it was very difficult to get responses. Here on the slide, you can see that we did a lot of reach outs, but the response rate was limited. However, the responses we did get were very helpful, in particular for pricing, for developing our product, and really working out the value proposition that our product offers to potential customers. So in that sense, the responses that we got really guided us throughout the whole process. So from starting at the very beginning to all the way to capturing the value and developing our prototype and our pricing model and those kind of things. So we really try to incorporate external feedback and validation as much as possible.
So now let's see what about the PESTEL. From a macro point of view, we can see the general tendencies, which are from a political point of view. The fact that climate change is taking more and more place in the international political level. What we can see by the quantity of submit and gathering of states to find solution to counter climate change. From a social point of view, there is demographic pressure that continues to make the climate unstable. but also a general awareness of the urgency of the situation. We even see that companies with a social vocation have a better image than others. As far as the environment is concerned, technology is at the heart of the matter as it monitors the destruction of the coastline and climate change. There is only a big issue about the carbon footprint of the data used for this kind of technologies. Concerning the economy, financial flows are rather directed towards new technologies in accordance with the Paris agreements. Moreover, these technologies benefit from a low tax. From a legal point of view, we observe a general tendency on laws in favor of the environment and restrictions of countries, which become more and more protectionist. Finally, from a technological point of view, despite a certain disparity in the adoption of technology, overall, this is evolving very quickly and GIS technologies are the future. Now let's see about the Porter 5 forces. In general, we can say that the competition in this industry is rather high as the market is fragmented and the biggest differentiation is made by price. Also, because buyers and suppliers have a high bargaining power, which makes us dependent. However, the threat of substitute is low, as the solutions today are not competitive enough with GIS. This leads to our competitive analysis. Then we have studied our main competitors in the field and compared our main features with those of our competitors. It turns out that we are the most competitive in that field. So you can see the main competitors are ArcGIS, IC, DHI, and EOMAP. The three last are all operating in coastal cities, but all are implementing supports. Then we have put them on a competitors matrix with the parameter customer centricity and functionality for coastline use cases. So basically the combination of specifically addressing customer needs and an excellent customer experience makes Hexagon stand out besides the competitors. This leads to our competitive advantage with basically cost leadership strategy, high-skilled workforce, brand loyalty, and strong research and development, among other things. Here you can see all the KPI we have settled. We have divided it in 4 parts. The first part is regarding the VCW process and how we want to conduct it. Then the 3 other parts are about the triple bottom line, so people, planet, and profit. We think it's really important because our service is about the planet, is about the people, and about the profit. So it makes sense to put some KPIs in that order. Then let's move to the phase 2. We went through phase 2 to pick a market. For that, we consider all the 193 countries known by the United Nations. And we have used the secondary research data from our competitors' performance, the industry reports, and some case studies. Then we have applied the 635 brainstorming methods by just meeting a round table, gathering all our ideas, and discuss about it in order to confront the ideas. In the results, we come up with 68 criteria in different fields, as you can see on the slide. We arrived at the phase 3 with all our criteria and had to select the best one to keep things to the poker method. We had only 16 filters that we kept. So 11 international filters and 5 local ones. As you can see, the first one was about the length of the coastline, since our service needs to be developed in coastline city. And then we care about the GDP and sensitivity of the coastline.
I will be presenting the phase 4 of the value creation wheel. When applying the value creation funnel to our problem, we relied on the provided Excel sheet, the filters which were kept from our poker method, and the 193 countries of the United Nations as input. We followed the principle outlined in class, and we used the filters to narrow down our option using both the value creation funnel and the MCD analysis to decide on our final choice. We made sure the filters were mutually exclusive, and we had to go back and forth multiple times to get a satisfying result. We eventually had a total of 11 filters which we used. Filter 1, length of coastline. It was important as our GIS technology is focused on application in the control and management of coastal degradation effects, planning of coastal settlement, etc. The data was pulled from the city population global dataset. GDP per capita as second filter. This filter helps to get an idea of the purchasing power of the inhabitant and therefore of the wealth of a country in general and of their pressure power. Filter 3, sensitivity of coastal areas. This criterion is a measurement of climate change vulnerabilities and disaster of coastal cities. A country's sensitivity's vulnerability to climate changes and disasters may influence the decision in purchasing GIS technology, hence it is necessary to assess this filter. Filter 4, country's geospatial readiness index. It measures the geospatial preparedness of countries based on data infrastructure, policy framework, institutional capacities, countries' adoption of geospatial technology. It will help us to assess which countries can effectively implement our GIS service. Filter 5, percentage of people living in the coastal area. This filter is a percentage of a country's population living in coastal cities. Filter 6, medium long-term political risk. Because it affects many other types of risks, considering the political risk of a country is critical for firms. Political risk in business refers to the possibility that investment return will suffer as a result of a country's instability. Filter 7, government commitment to SDGs. This filter measures a country's total progress towards achieving all 17 SDGs. The score can be understood as a percentage of SDGs achievement. If we are to have a sustainable future, government plays a significant, if not essential, role. A good government can ensure safety, promote well-being and education, and admit that a healthy environment is important. Filter 8, environmental awareness. Environmental performance of a country is a good proxy for a country's existing sustainability efforts and thus receptiveness of our solution. Filter 9, Global Innovation Index. R&D not only encourages innovation, but it also influences the acceptance of current technologies. Filter 10, Ease of Doing Business Index. It shows how business-friendly of a country regulations are. As a startup, the ease of setting up a business and operating in a country are an important aspect. Filter 11, Marine Protected Areas. Percentage of marine protected areas as a percentage of total territorial waters. This is a good proxy for the existing marine and coastline protection policies in a country. This is our entire features for the global ranking. Based on the VCW, we narrowed down the final choice to Australia. The MCDA also highlighted Australia as the best choice, followed by Denmark and Norway. Some countries, such as the United States and Germany, also got ranked highly, while being deprioritized for different reasons in the VCF. We applied the same framework to the local market, and using different filters, it allowed us to find New South Wales as our ideal target market. About the 5 local filters, these 5 local filters were allowed us to reach a more accurate idea of a possible market for our service. I will give you a brief hint about the region. The region represents about 800,000 square kilometers. It has about 2,000 kilometers of coastline, coast border, the Coral and Tasman Seas to the east. It has about 8 million of inhabitants, and the population density is about 13 per square kilometer. The median age is about 42 years old. Our initial local target market, New South Wales, Australia, we consider it as an ideal starting point due to its economic and political situation and its vast and protected coastline, which features many cities. Furthermore, the local Western Indian Ocean Marine Science Association launched a new program to new coastal flood and erosion projects, where we would fit in really nicely. The range of potential targets customers in the public and private space is also very large, and it offers great opportunities for our service. We made an analysis of the local competitors, and we came up with 3 local competitors. The first one is EcoOS, a leading provider of GIS, mapping, and remote sensing services. With one of Australia's most experienced natural resource GIS teams, they provide clients with solutions in data delivery, development, and implementation of spatial data for effective project applications and management protocol. The staff of this firm work closely with local, state, and Commonwealth government agencies and understand the pressure on public servants and how to streamline work to meet government standards. Another one was Spectrum. This downstream player specialized in environmental services, also use GIS and mapping data. It is a world leader in the application of GIS technology, and they offer services in many industries, including in environmental, natural resources, and land management. GeoImage. This GIS company was bought by Jensen Borough Group in 2015. It covered the mid and downstream part of the value chain, and they propose services for different industries, including preservation of the environment. Clients cover a range of government and private sector stakeholders. I will make the situation analysis about our business. Business model overview. RTB, or startup, is a downstream company, B2B company, working as an authorized distributor for Hexagon Geospatial, meaning that Hexagon is supplying us the service that we provide to our customers. It has exclusive right to distribute the service to selected customers after prior agreements have been made with both the producers and the end user. It works closely with Hexagon to ensure maximum value delivery and provide after-sales customer support services. Regarding our value chains, Hexagon produced the GIS technology and supply it to us. We bring into the value chains an understanding of customers' needs and identify the next best market to launch the service. RTB sets up the service in the selected geographical area. It conducts training and provides support to the customers. Customers provide us then with a feedback about the service, which we will communicate to Hexagon. Marketing sites. The New South Wales governmental policy involves a process aiming at the identification and assessment of regional vulnerability to climate change. It also has a division for spatial service, and this suggests a readiness to purchase and use the GIS technology for coastal city management, meaning our service. Global real estate developers are now using GIS technology to track progress, in addition to shoreline coastal vulnerabilities of coastal city development. Tourism agencies also use GIS technology to map accessibility to tourist destinations. We also designed a value chain for you to understand how Hexagon relates to RTB. This value chain has an upstream part where Hexagon is the main actor and a downstream part where RTB is the main actor. In the upstream part, Hexagon designed GIS technology by taking customers' needs and feedback into consideration. The technology creates solutions that deliver 5D smart digital reality. Then Hexagon partners with RTB to distribute the technology and ships the product to RTB. We have 2 delivery options: shipped as a package of installation disk, or electronic delivery is made available for download and buyers are emailed licenses key codes. Then RTB stores the product and software licenses, and after that it resells the Hexagon technology to clients at a competitive margin. Then RTB listens to customers' feedback to improve our services and inform Hexagon of customers' needs, satisfactions or dissatisfaction for product improvement.
We segmented the market into 3 main segments. First segment are the power customers. These are the segments of customers we believe are highly motivated to use GIS technology for the sustainability of their cities. For example, governments, public authorities, and councils. The next segment we identified were passionate money makers. We identified that this segment is concerned about their business interests and will be very concerned with the sustainability of coastal cities. This segment includes real estate developers, private development contractors, among others. The final segment is the coastal tourism segment. Coastal cities are usually tourist hotspots. Hence, the tourism industry in coastal cities is a potential user of GIS technology. The tourism industry includes travel agencies, tour operators, and beach resorts. From the segmentation, we move on to targeting, where we intend to reach customers whose relationship or partnership with us will massively support coastal city management. We identified that targeting and partnering with the power user segment in the early stages of operations will be the best strategy, as this segment offers a diversified demand and has a huge potential of growth with lower risk. Our positioning strategy is to facilitate the installation of GIS technologies and provide tools that unlock the potential to gain real-time data that enables governments to monitor, assess, and manage coastline sensitivities. Some potential target markets were identified in New South Wales after we segmented the market were government, public agencies, and councils. For government, we identified the New South Wales Department of Planning, Industry and Development, the Port Authority of New South Wales, the Independence Planning Commission, Roads and Waterways, Spatial Services Division, and the State Emergency Service. For the private developers, we identified City Plan, Coastal Developments Pty Limited, CBUS Property. And for travel agencies, hotels and resorts, we identified Pullman, Magenta Shores Resort, Flint's Beach Resort, Northern Beaches Travel and Cruise, and Audley Travel. We represented our marketing strategy in the marketing mix framework, namely the 7 Ps, to fully understand the strategy we will use to successfully promote RTB in the target market. The product we are distributing is Hexagon's portfolio of GIS software, which will be sold in 2 ways: on installation disks or through electronic delivery with license and access codes sent by email. The pricing model offers customers the chance to select the range or combination of products which suits their need. Tier 1 customers will pay 15,000 euros. Tier 2 customers will pay 29,000 euros. Tier 3 customers will pay 45,000 euros. This is for the initial setup fees. All these tiers also come with installation fees and annual subscription payments. With regards to place, the product will be sold online on RTB's website, while we also offer in-person customer service, training on site, and a dedicated 24/7 customer support. Physical evidence of RTB service includes comprehensive and detailed reports, maps and forecasting available for analysts, website design, monitoring, and support services available for the customers. With regards to promotion, we intend to attend trade fairs, offer free trials and demonstrations to potential customers, announce our services and advertise in national and local newspapers, local media, among others. We'll also use email marketing campaigns and leverage on the power of social media to run targeted ads. The people to make RTB a success include the founding team, who bring various expertise in marketing, entrepreneurship, sustainable development, and finances. The RTB team will also include industry experts, engineers, analysts from Earth observation, IT personnel, support services, and key account managers. Our marketing process will begin with connecting with potential customers. The second stage in the process will be to establish a contract or partnership with the best options for all the parties involved. The next step will be to attend meetings and communicate effectively to understand client's need. The next stage is to deliver the service through reports and access to the platform. And finally, we will monitor and measure our activities and the performance of our marketing strategies. The use of GIS technology specific to coastal city management is a mildly contested market space. And our blue ocean strategy to succeed in this market is to be fully customer-centric and offer continuous support for new use cases of the GIS technology. We intend to position ourselves as the only distributor of GIS technology for coastal city management. The Hexagon Power portfolio is world-class and comes as a package of various products. Our customers will have the right to choose how many of these products suit their needs. Tier 3 customers will have the highest combination of the entire portfolio. Depending on what their needs are, they may even choose all the products in the portfolio. Now, this is a brief presentation of how RTB's website appears to clients interested in learning more about the Hexagon products we have and how they can contact us. The website is interactive and very simple to use and allows customers to contact us directly. Moving on to phase 5 to show how we'll consolidate value. Our business model canvas outlines several key elements, such as the key partners needed to make RTB a success story. This includes investors such as business angels, venture capitalists. We also consider funding entities such as the New South Wales government and NGOs who could support us by giving us subsidies as key partners. And finally, another key partner are the technology suppliers such as Hexagon. The most important resources for RTB's operations are the 4 founders of RTB, our human resources, our office and storage infrastructure, and our financial resources. Starting with the 4 founders of RTB, who are all key decision makers, each of us will play a significant role in the management and operations of the company to deliver value to our customers. In addition, by the beginning of the 4th month, we will hire 1 office administrator and 3 sales and marketing staff. Our key activities are getting the product from Hexagon, storing it, selling to customers, training them on how to use the product, performing after-sales service, getting consumer feedback to Hexagon to improve the product. Our value proposition to our customers is that RTB is a distribution company that sells Earth observation GIS technology and provides training, consultancy, and advisory services to clients in need of effective and convenient solutions to coastal city problems. Our value proposition is specifically tailored to customers who need solutions to coastal city problems. RTB aims to facilitate the sustainability of coastal cities by bringing GIS technology closer to end users. Consumers gain an understanding and an easy way to accurately monitor and gain high quality and complex geospatial data. We intend to establish cordial and long-lasting relationships with customers through offering the best possible customer service, a 24/7 dedicated technical support chat, a customer support team to answer customers' questions in a short time, and we will give customers full training on the use of GIS technology. With regards to our customers, for now, we are targeting governments, public offices, and councils. We have identified potential customers in New South Wales, such as the New South Wales Department of Planning and Development, the Port Authority, the Independence Planning Commission, among others. To these customers, we offer value by distributing the Hexagon GIS products that enables them to sustainably develop and manage their coastal cities. The channels through which we will deliver our services to customers are the online website to present and sell the product, phone calls and chats to support customers, and participation in fairs and events to educate customers on new and innovative IT tools. The key costs of RTB include the expenses related to suppliers, marketing and advertising, staff salaries, bonuses and training, research and development expenses to stay at the top of innovation, and the maintenance of the software and its related services. Our revenue will be primarily from initial setup fees of the GIS technology, annual subscriptions, surcharge on extra quoted services, and training sessions. Let us now take a look at the needed 3 M's of RTB. The core management team of RTB is made up of the CEO, whose duties include leading and managing the overall operations, planning, developing, and implementing the company strategy, communicating and liaising with the board, shareholders, and key clients, and also performing evaluations of the company's finances with the CFO to ensure that KPIs are met and improved if necessary. We also have a Chief Technology Officer whose responsibilities will be to manage internal IT operations, outsource the needed personnel to build and maintain RTB's website, ensure that there are up-to-date technological tools and resources in place at RTB, oversee the entire system infrastructure and the employees or consultants working on the company's website, communication, and other technological resources. And finally, the CTO would also evaluate KPIs and IT budgets to assess technological performance. We also have the Chief Financial Officer, whose key duties include leading and managing the finance and accounting team, formulation of strategy with CEO with regards to financial planning and budgeting, overseeing the use of financial resources and preparation of financial reports, and will be responsible for evaluating all formal financial procedures and requests. Finally, we have the CMO, who is in charge of planning and overseeing the marketing and advertising activities of RTB. She would also be responsible for implementing new marketing strategies, reviewing and managing content created for websites and social media channels, and will be tracking the marketing objectives and KPIs. We presented the key rollout activities of the RTB project in a chronogram and divided the rollout into 4 phases. In the first phase, we will legally set up the company and begin the soft launch of RTB. Activities in this phase include setting up the company by undertaking the needed legal and physical activities, setting up the websites and social media platforms, contacting the first few potential customers, such as the New South Wales local government, and then finalizing our partnership with Hexagon. The expected deadline for this phase is 31st March 2022. After the success of the soft launch, we will move on to phase 2, which is a hard launch and customer acquisition phase. Here, there will be 2 major activities: conducting social media campaigns, Google advertising, etc., to reach and acquire new customers, and the recruitment of sales and marketing, office administrator, and customer support staff. This phase will end by 30th June 2022, after which we will move on to the third phase, which has activities that will be performed in parallel with phase 2 activities, such as reaching out to new customer segments, promoting and increasing social media campaigns and Google advertising, and conducting customer retention activities. By 31st December 2022, we hope to have reached out to new customer segments within the Australian region to expand our customer base. And at the beginning of 2023, which is the last phase of our rollout plan, we'll use the VCF we generated to expand to the next best option, which was Denmark. Moving on to the last M, which is money, we take a closer look at our revenue streams. As mentioned earlier, this will be primarily from initial setup fees of the software, annual subscriptions, and other fees we will charge. Tier 2 and 3 customers who purchase a wider range of the products on offer, and customers who sign a 3-year subscription plan will get an average 10% discount. The monthly recurring revenues we can expect to gain every month are 1,250 euros from Tier 1 customers, and if they are on the 3 years plan, the revenue will be 937.50 euros. For Tier 2 customers, we expect to receive 2,416.67 euros monthly, and if they are on the 3 years plan, we expect a revenue of 1,812.50 euros. Finally, for Tier 3 customers, we expect to receive 3,750 euros monthly, but if they are on the 3 years plan, it will be 2,812.5 euros. Our expected annual recurring revenue is therefore 15,000 euros from Tier 1 customers, 29,000 euros from Tier 2 customers, and 45,000 euros from Tier 3 customers. With regards to cost, marketing and promotions will be intense as we want to quickly acquire new customers and retain them. Hence, our costs and expenses will be largely from marketing activities and staff salaries. To cover our expenses until we break even or until the next financing round, we are asking for funding of 400,000 euros convertible note. The intended use of these funds is to assemble a strong team to launch our operations and build a scalable marketing organization that ensures that by 2023, RTB would have annual recurring revenues of 200,000 euros. Going back to our objectives and KPIs, at this point, we have achieved all the personal and process-related ones in order to present our startup today. The only one we're not able to achieve is contact 20 stakeholders. We're not able to do this due to the relative difficulty in reaching them. With regards to the company's objectives, we hope that by gaining funding and establishing the startup, we will start achieving the next set of short-term objectives. In conclusion, we reiterate our value proposition. RTB is striving to deliver accurate data analytics tools and resources from our provider Hexagon for a sustainable management of coastal cities using GIS technology. With GIS technologies, coastal cities can plan coastal settlement, monitor, assess, and manage climate changes. Through using the value creation wheel framework, we're able to find a suitable target market to sell the Earth observation service, which is aimed at helping governments and various stakeholders prevent climate change vulnerabilities and ensure sustainable management of coastal cities. RTB's operations will impact the triple bottom line and be aligned with several governmental impact agendas such as the Sustainable Development Goals, the European Green Deal, and the Paris Agenda. We believe that the GIS technology we will distribute is going to help coastal cities become more climate resilient and prevent disasters before they happen. Thank you.